This is San Salvador, capital city of El Salvador, the smallest but most densely populated republic in Central America, it being estimated that each square mile of land supports an average of 136 inhabitants. The paving of the capital city and the building of modern highways cost millions of dollars, but the outlay has developed motor transportation in El Salvador to a degree not yet approached in any other country of Central America. This is a section of the Pan American Highway, extending itself across the country for a distance of 180 miles, making El Salvador the first Latin American country to complete its portion of that great international highway, which will eventually reach in one continuous road from Alaska to Argentina. The government of El Salvador is democratic, and every citizen over 18 years of age is not only entitled to vote, but is legally obliged to do so. Although the constitutional laws of the country guarantee freedom of worship for all, the great majority of its inhabitants are Roman Catholics. Among the beautiful churches of San Salvador is the cathedral in Plaza Bolivar. Another outstanding structure in the Plaza Bolivar is the National Palace, covering an entire city block and housing the various departments of government. Modern innovations, however, have not completely altered old customs, as evidenced by the past mingling with the present in the primitive mode of travel used by the natives when they come into the city from outlying districts, bringing their variegated products to market. The colorful people who gather here reveal almost all types of the country's population, many of whom are descendants of a tribe of pre-conquest Indians who were believed to be related to the Aztecs of Mexico and who founded a nation known as Cuscatlan sometime during the 11th century. A few miles from here stands El Salvador's most spectacular volcano, known as Izalco, which more than a century ago rose out of a plain to a height of 6,000 feet and today sends forth its smoke, flames, and gases with such clock-like regularity that it is often referred to as the lighthouse of the Pacific. The whole of El Salvador is of volcanic origin, and its soil particularly lends itself to the production of agricultural products, which have been instrumental in developing a product known as henequen. Because of low prices in world markets during the years of the recent economic depression, the cultivation of henequen for export was for some time a none too profitable business. But in recent years, the government has been encouraging a wide development of agriculture, and since sugar and coffee, as well as many other products, must be shipped to market in henequen bags, it was decided to develop the growth and production of henequen on a large scale. Although henequen is related to the century plant, it grows much faster and is consequently much more prolific. The tough fiber of this cactus-like plant is also used for various textiles, as well as for hemp, twine, and rope. After the leaves are cut off at the base of the plant, they are carried in ox carts to the mill, where the softer parts are removed, leaving long strings of tough fiber, which are dried by the sun in this unique manner. Making binder twine is one of the most important usages of this strong fiber. During the First World War, the United States alone consumed over 200,000 pounds per year of binder twine made of henequen, and grain growers of other nations used about half that amount. The dried product is carried back to the mill and then packed in bales for delivery to local markets, as well as for export trade. Volcanic soil in high altitudes is believed to be most suitable for the growth of the best coffee, as in this region, where numerous coffee fincas or plantations cover the slopes of the volcanoes and provide a lucrative industry for the landowners. Coffee is the principal agricultural product and chief export of El Salvador, as well as the main source of livelihood for a vast majority of the country's 2 million inhabitants. During the coffee picking season, the whole countryside suddenly comes to life, and thousands of laborers swarm amongst the coffee plants, which grow best in the shade of other trees. The coffee berries, when picked, resemble red cherries. The pickers usually work on a peacetime basis, and aside from toil, this season is a gay one because it often brings together old friends and old families who tell of their experiences during the off months and generally enjoy the whole business. As simple as the work is, there is no machine that can replace the human hand. After the berries are picked, assorted, and weighed, they are washed and split into the coffee bean shape that is familiar to the outside world. Then the beans are dried in the sun prior to their final roasting, which gives them the brown coffee color. Although the coffee industry is the largest and probably the oldest in El Salvador, it is still conducted on a somewhat primitive basis, very much as it has been for the past century or more. One of the characteristic traits of the El Salvadorians is cleanliness, and wherever we go in this little country, we find groups of native women scrubbing clothes and running streams like this. "Don't look at the camera" has been a common saying since motion pictures were invented, but we don't object to these women looking at our camera because we are eager to get a good look at them. All right, ladies, stand up. Thank you. Now give us a little smile, please. That's it. And this is what we mean when we say a smile is the same in all languages. A favorite pastime of the native men is fishing in freshwater lakes, and they have devised a most unique method for their comfort while doing so. They actually catch fish, too, an edible species that tastes like rock bass. The poet who said, "Men must work and women must weep, and the sooner it's over, the sooner to sleep," wasn't thinking of this part of the world, where no small amount of menial work is performed by women, while their gentlemen of leisure relax and enjoy themselves. And it is here that we conclude our impressions of picturesque El Salvador.